I reviewed more than thousands of resumes. The percentage of the good resume is probably less than 1%. How many people know difference between the resume, which is a laundry list, and accomplishments? What I see in resume, which is still up to date, shocks me that people put like Cursor to write test faster. Okay, this is not accomplishment. This is what I call laundry list. This is type of accomplishment hiring managers would like to see in 2026 resumes that AI related. How many people know difference between the resume, which is a laundry list, and accomplishments? You know, laundry list is just basically like I used page object model to scale my testing architecture. That's a laundry list. This is a very old article. I've been using it for quite some time, probably around 80 years for sure. So this article I was using when we started teaching in 2015. I was looking for the good guidelines to write resumes. Luckily, I went to the US university and I took creative writing course on the business writing. And one of the session was how to actually create the correct resumes, right? And as you can imagine, being in a software development industry for such long, especially in management, I reviewed more than thousands of resume in my career. And to be honest, that the percentage of the good resume is probably less than 1%. This is the reality. And that's why when I started teaching and mentoring people back in 2013, I was looking for the good publication. This article came to my attention like around 2018, and I love it. And I still use it because it has a formula, right? It has a formula of what to put as an accomplishment in resume versus the laundry list. So here's the formula. It's right here on the screen. Accomplishment X is measured by Y by doing Z. Right? This is the formula we're going to use for the next exercise to write accomplishments, which is going to change your resume. So it's very simple. So in the case in this article, the person who wrote this article, the author, they put it, improve device battery lifespan by 8%, integrating a fuel gauge sensor and establishing battery saving state. So if you convert in the software testing field, that will sound something that you speed up delivery, right? Software like, of test automation by 50. So by 50%, you can put here, right? By deploying Cursor with the Playwright and MCP, or migrating from Selenium to the Selenium WebDriver to the Cursor with the Playwright and MCP. So first you say, what happened by doing this? So you are either speed up like by 3x or by percentage by doing something. So it's a very simple formula, and that becomes accomplishment. What I see in resume, which is still up to date, shocks me that people put like Cursor to write test faster. Okay, this is not accomplishment. This is what I call laundry list. This is just a statement that doesn't have any attachment to the value. Why it is important? When you're writing this, you start thinking about what you have done, not what you do, right? It's very important. You program yourself by writing these statements in your resume to talk on an interview about your accomplishments and not about what you have done. So your resume is supposed to be a number of these accomplishments that will go to the LinkedIn as well. Now, when your potential hiring manager review your profiles, you're not just another QA person. You're an individual with your personal accomplishments, if it makes sense. Please write your accomplishment. Use this article as a reference. You can quickly browse through the article, but the key is this formula, right, that you see on the screen, X, Y, Z. Follow this formula and write 3 to 5 accomplishments based on this formula. We talk about AI testing, right? Or testing AI application. So what would be the correct accomplishment? So we can say that improved, or let me see, what would be the good one? Mitigate prompt injection issues by 70% by integrating red teaming strategy. This is like a beautiful accomplishment in testing LLMs, right? If you go traditional testing, could be speed up CI test execution from 2 hours to 10 minutes by deploying Marathon Cloud. This is an accomplishment. So you migrated from browser stack or Lambda test to the Marathon Cloud. That would be an accomplishment.
Okay, so I put in 3. The first was I reduced cycle time by 20% by leading adoption of modern testing principles across engineering. And then reduced test design time by 60% by developing AI agents that generate Gherkin feature files. And then reduced escape defects by 10% by introducing test automation and reducing the reliance on manual regression testing.
That's beautiful. Well written, Philip. This is a great, thank you, Philip, once again for sharing. This is a great example of very clear, concise accomplishments. This is so good. Your resume is the list of accomplishments done in a certain job. Every job you perform, let's say either for 6 months, 1 year, or 2 years, some people work for 5 to 10 years in the company. This is totally fine. The idea is that you always perform some sort of projects, right? That could be besides irregular ordinary tasks like regression testing or writing test automation script for the continuous regression, there are certain things that you've done that were very unique. Let me give you a great example. For instance, your manager asked you to migrate from the old framework, which was clunky, poorly written, to the new test automation framework, which is modern, concise, and it's supposed to lead to some sort of ROI, return on investment, such as either the maintenance decreased, right, by number of percentage, or execution decreased by number of percentage, or ability to write test increase. So now you can write 3 times more fast in a shorter period of time, right? You contributed for 3 to 6 months project of porting old framework to the new framework that enable company to move faster. So it was your personal contribution. And that's what you write about in a resume versus traditional resumes that I've seen that, I call them poor resumes, right? Where people say, I was performing weekly regressions. I was using Playwright to automate web tests. This is what we call laundry list. And that's what hiring managers do not like to see. They would like to see what we showed you as an examples. And it could be everything from CI/CD execution to leverage, like for instance, you can say that you research and deployed Promptful on AWS instance to validate the model on every deployment of new data, like pipeline. This is a great accomplishment 26. Or you deployed the prompt injection strategy to mitigate the security risks on your model by 90%. This is accomplishment. This is type of accomplishment hiring managers would like to see in 2026 resumes that AI related, right? Stop writing resumes that are just pretty much like listing out your skills.
And what if you are a QA manager? Should we do that? You do the same thing?
Of course. Let me give you a great example. As a QA manager, you work on the strategies. So can you give me an example? Let's brainstorm together. Everybody, there's a lot of QA managers on today's call, right? So let's brainstorm together. What would be the great accomplishment as a QA manager because you work on the strategies? Give me an example, Nelly. What do you think?
So should you mention that, for example, your team or you help your team to accomplish something, or you can just say that you accomplished something?
Both way. Like for instance, you can say that you build a strategy and the team was able to execute on this strategy that helped company to achieve certain results. Absolutely. Like for instance, you can say your research or your R&D a framework because team is always busy on execution. You as a manager always work on the strategies that descend on the team to perform certain tasks and create results, right? You can say that you designed a new dashboard for test results to help that actually this is a live dashboard, right? That helps your leadership. So you in management, so your leadership will be like CTO, VP of engineering to see on daily, like literally in heartbeat on daily basis to see the whole quality of entire product. And you could say that you leverage this using V0 platform, which is, help you to do it like, and not in a month, but in a week, right? That's a great example in the management. So again, managers perform a lot of tasks that are very important too. That's why they're managers, right? So absolutely. I think it's mostly conversation with yourself. And a lot of people are afraid to do this. And I promise you, the second you sit down on a computer and start following this formula and brainstorm, oh my God, you're gonna come up with so many of them. It's just your brain will gonna start working differently. But why this is important? It's not just to make your resume and LinkedIn profile to stand out. It's very important for a very simple reason. You program yourself for the interview, right? You have something to talk about. So you're not gonna talk about your routine job. You will talk about your accomplishments, which is actually different. It's you, it's your accomplishment, your version. This is so important. Okay, please save this article and use the guidelines tomorrow and up, like maybe during the weekend, and write this down. It's very, very, very important. That's the good opportunity after today's workshop. Go and update your resumes first. If you would like to share a resume in the Discord channel, there is a career topics channel there. So feel free to share a resume. Say, hey, Igor, would you take a look at this? And again, this is the great example of the resume and LinkedIn profiles that actually stand out. You will be shocked. I mean, the majority of them do not look that way. And this is the best way to actually make impression on the hiring manager.
In the next episode, we'll talk about how to build a LinkedIn profile that attracts hiring managers and makes them reach out to you. Your technical skills matter, but how you position and present yourself on the market often makes half the difference. Subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss the next episodes. See you in the next video.